Holy fucking shit. All I can. Whoa. So today, I finally got around to watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. All I can say, just right off the bat, straight away, all I can say is this movie is fucking phenomenal. This is a masterpiece. Like, just right off the bat, when I become an actor, and I know I will because I'm manifesting my career, I gotta work with this director because this director, the two directors, brothers. I gotta work with them because they're fucking incredible. I've already seen Swiss Army Man, which they also directed, which I really loved that, but this is a million times better. This is fucking unbelievable. This could possibly be my second or third favorite film. Actually, probably my second favorite film of last year. It's kind of Top Gun Maverick for me, just a little bit, just a bit above Top Gun Maverick. Holy fucking shit! So today or tonight, sorry, I'm gonna be doing a movie review on Everything Everywhere All at Once, made in the year of 2022, or came out in the year 2022. Whenever I say made in the year, you know I just mean the year it comes out, whatever. Starring Michelle Yeoh, the kid from the fucking Goonies and Temple of Doom, who has not acted in a movie in like 20 fucking years and did a phenomenal job, by the way. Jamie Lee Curtis, Jenny Slater as well, actually. She's in it. Oh, they're not brothers. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know that. So, yeah. Second, I'm actually going to look that up. I should probably do my research before doing reviews, but you know what? Fuck it. Okay, K. Hugh Kwan is the kid from the Goonies. Jenny Slate, yeah. Sorry, not brothers. They're two Daniels. I think that's why I got them mixed up. So the two Daniels. So yes, I would thank you, Upsy Daisy, for pointing that out. Anyway, so Everything Everywhere All at Once. Basically, the plot of Everything Everywhere All at Once is you got this woman played by Michelle Yeoh who works at a laundromat with her husband, played by I want to get his actor's name right. Ke Huy Quan, from the Goonies, from the Goonies, and basically, they're working a stressful job and have to get this these papers signed and all this shit, whatever. And essentially, whatchamacallit, the daughter, they're planning this New Year's party, and her daughter's there, and her and the daughter don't really get along. There's kind of a lot of tension between them. The daughter's a lesbian, and she's like introducing her mother to her girlfriend Becky, but her mother's not 100% accepting of it. The father's like, yeah, whatever, but they have to tell the grandfather, who was played by the one and only motherfucker that is in James Hong. Sorry, so yeah, James Hong, who plays Gong Gong, he's also in Big Trouble in Little China, Blade Runner, and the voice of the Goose and Kung Fu Panda trilogy. And so they don't tell him straight away that's the girlfriend because, essentially weird shit, because they won't be accepting because it's grew up in a different generation and all this other shit. So they have to sort this kind of shit out. Key's character is, I just want to get his name right. So Wayne Wang, he's basically, he's wanting to secretly get a divorce from Kim Young, and they show that beautifully well because he's like hiding papers, and then when he's walking, he kind of sees a couple kissing, and you're like, fuck, he hasn't, he's not feeling happy about it. And even in the lift, he's like, we should go on the vacation. He's like, oh no, I don't think we should. We can't afford it. But anyway, while in the elevator, his body ends up getting possessed by another version of himself from a different universe. Who's like, "Look, you're in danger. You got to do this. You have to stop this person from taking over the multiverse, destroying the multiverse, and all this crazy shit." And she's kind of just like, "What the hell?" And ends up going and meeting Jamie Lee Curtis's character and essentially talking. And then for then on out, she's kind of just daydreaming and not fully there and stuff like that. And when she's not fully there, she imagines that she's in an elevator with the guy from another universe. No, sorry. In imagines that she's in a closet with the guy from another universe, and we learned a bit about the whole backstory about the villain, and she's kind of just having to pay attention in and out, and it's having trouble paying attention and stuff. So shit basically goes tits up from there on out, and she learns about like she goes to another universe where Jamie Lee Curtis is essentially evil and has killed everyone and is trying to attack her, and then he kind of comes in and out of consciousness, and then there's the and then they're both bickering about the whole divorce thing, whatever, and essentially, whatchamacallit, essentially, fucking Jamie Lee Curtis's character ends up fucking getting punched in the face by Michelle Yeoh because she thinks that's that horrible version. Then the security guards get in, and then eventually the Key attacks them, and then from then on out, for the rest of the fucking movie, it is just batshit crazy martial arts fights through the multiverse. It turns out that the evil spirit has been invading the daughter because the daughter has been. It's a very interesting idea. The daughter has basically been pressurized by her mother over and over and over again, and because of that, it's fucked her consciousness up, and essentially, like it's like her mental health got so bad, and so much pressure got put on her that it kind of just went out to all the other versions of her in the other universe coming together to create this evil version, this evil black hole, kind of a metaphor for depression as well. Fuck me. This movie's deep, by the way. This movie is fucking deep. It's very deep. It's just deeper than I thought it was going to be. And it's causing it to destroy the entire multiverse. So it's basically up to Michelle Yeoh to stop her, but finds it hard because for her daughter. But her powers are so powerful that she can also manipulate people and transform her to their side. And she fights many other people. Has to try to fix her marriage from the divorce and goes to different universes. And there's references to Ratatouille in very funny references. And it's violent. It's action packed. It's batshit crazy. It's insane. The aspect ratio goes from full screen to widescreen, but it actually works effectively in this, better than it does in the Christopher Nolan movies. And it's just fucking perfect. Like, I remember watching this and just thinking, how the fuck am I going to review this? This is going to be a really hard movie to describe. So I'm going to try and just talk about a bunch of different scenes I loved. First of all, love the setting in the office. The office setting in some of the scenes is beautiful, and the way it is shot is amazing. And this is an extremely creative multiverse movie. Like, fuck me, it is creative. Well, you got to see him when they're driving. It's like, oh, come on, let's go. We got to go into the office, and they're walking in the building. Some of it's done in subtitles and all that. It's like, come on, where do we go? We got to go get the taxes. And then the grandfather's like, oh, yeah, we'll do that, whatever. And they're just walking, and you get these great moments where just great camera angles where, like, Kenyon's just looking over and he sees an old couple kiss on the cheek, and then they get on the elevator, they go up. And it's like, when are we ever going to take a a trip. When is that ever going to happen? And I was like, oh no, if we ever took a trip, it would just be boring. It would be a disaster. Remember the last time we tried to take a trip? It's like, oh god, yeah. So they get up there, and this is like the start of the multiverse related stuff, which I think is just fucking beautifully handled. It's like holy shit. The heating's on, Jesus, frozen. But the multiverse stuff, it's just brilliantly done. Um, he's just there, like, yeah, whatever. He's like, "Whoa!" And she's just kind of like there, and the lights go. I was like, listen, you are in great danger. You need to get out of here. There's another version trying to kill you. You're from another universe. You're in great danger. It's like, what? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong. It's like, you're in great danger. Whatever. Come on. You gotta go to that side. And like, they do this thing where, like, when they're in the laundromat, like, oh yeah, I'll do this that way, and they're kind of focusing on the whole. The camera pans in, it focuses on the security camera, and you're like, oh shit. And then it focuses on different numbers and all. It's like, you gotta go up here, great danger. And they're just up there like, oh, we're here already. And they walk out. And then it's just like, yeah. And you get the kind of audio going off. And this moment, you just hear Jamie Lee Curtis bickering like, oh, it's like Mr. And she's like, and she's like, Miss Kwan Wang. It's like, she's like, yes, it's like, did you hear what I said? And first of all, she looks great for her age, but like, you get this brilliant shot of her just sitting there, and I love how wide, like, big it is. Like, do you know what we can do? It's like, I don't know. It's like, and also one thing I want to point out, I liked how the actor from Big Trouble in Little China got to work with Jamie Lee Curtis in this, because there's two John Carpenter actors working together, so I enjoyed that. So it's like, do you hear what we can do? We can do this thing with this whole thing. We can do, get your house for this thing. And she's pointing at a circle. And the circle's like a metaphor for something, because there's multiple times we'll do this, later on, it was like, where this happens. Like, we'll do that. And she's pointing at a circle, and she's pointing at a circle another time, and another time, and another time. And it's like, oh shit. So this is obviously a metaphor for what's going to happen, or like a sort of Easter egg for what's going to happen. And there's even little things I noticed, like the beginning of the movie, there's a shot of the three of them, like, oh, the three of them, the mother and father, the character from the Goonies is kind of in the mirror there talking, and she's just there at the desk, like, yeah, whatever. And he comes in like, hey, what are you doing and all that? It's like, are you ready to go in and do this? We're ready to go and do this? Like, yes, soon. And then you just see the kind of shot of the mirror, and I love the opening shots. It's just beautifully shot to begin with, and then when it gets to the visual stuff, it's shot even better. It's like, it's just fucking perfect. But anyway, she's like, so you want to explain that? It's like, yeah, so we'll do it this way. It's like, so we can't do that way, just that way and the other. It's like, what? And then she's like, here, you listen. It's like, visualize yourself in the closet. It's like, what? It's like, visualize yourself in the closet. Like, and it's like, you listen. Like, oh yeah, I am listening. And she's like, come on, pay attention. It's like, oh, she never listens. And they do a good job of having like subtitles, and it's like Mandarin subtitles and like English speaking moments. They do a great job of balancing both. It's like, look over here, like, I'm over here, like, in the closet. It's like, you have to visualize yourself in the closet, and it's just looking over, like, what? It's like, yeah, come on, close your eyes. And then she just goes, and then the closet's like, I'm in the closet. You hear, it's like, I have to listen to this. I just, look, not right now. It's like, listen, the fate of the multiverse is in danger. You have to let me help you and all that. It's like, what? You're my husband? No, I'm your husband from a different universe. On this consciousness, I'm not the same one. It's like, and he's like, "What? Are you listening?" He's like, yes, I'm fine. It's like, and she's kind of grabbing him, like, he's like, yeah, sorry about her, and he's just kind of grabbing her, like, yeah, she's grabbing him, and it's just, I just can't tell you how great it is to see this guy back. Like, even some of the, oh my god, like the way he gets excited in like Temple of Doom and the Goonies. Like, there's a lot of moments like that, and you're like, memories, nostalgia. It's like, you're going to be able to happen that, and she's just like, oh yeah, great. And then there's a moment, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll take it. It's like, and she's like, what? It's like, okay, you got to do this, that, and the other. This is what happens with that in the consciousness. And she's like, and then Jamie Lee Curtis just goes, you think this is funny? And there's great humor like that. And just, Jamie Lee Curtis is just brilliant in this movie. Like, her acting is just spectacular. And you're like, holy fucking shit. you can just see how long she's come from the original Halloween to this, and it's like, fuck, you know. It's like, yeah. So that's it's like you can go. She's like, what? Stand up. It's like, what? It's like, I can't let her do it. No, please, no. She's like, what? It's like, sit down. And she's like, and the whole office is looking at her. It's like, you can go. It's like, okay, like what's going on? I don't know, something weird's happening. We gotta go and all that. And then they're talking in Mandarin, and then the grandfather at times like, oh yeah, you never listen or whatever. Like, and a majority of the time he speaks in Mandarin. You know, he's like, oh yeah, when obviously when they're going into the building and then when they're at the place at the desk, a lot those scenes, and they're walking over. It's like, yeah, whatever. They're bickering. It's like, what are we on to talk about? Look, I want to talk about something. We're getting divorced. Like, what? Getting divorced? What? Divorce papers? What do you mean divorce papers? Why do you want to get divorced and all that? And you're like, I don't know. Things just haven't been good between us and all that. It's just not working out. It's just, you know, pulling away. And it's like, you actually do feel for the guy, and you can see why he wants to get a divorce, because the beginning of the movie, she is a very like bossy character. You know, at the very start of the film, she is quite bossy, and she doesn't. He kind of feels that she doesn't love him as much anymore, or whatever. Um, and um, you know, you're kind of just like, fuck. Like, the guy he's so likable. How could you not like the guy? He's just fucking awesome, you know. And you know, throughout the film, you're kind of just going like, shit. You know, you get great shots and talks like, oh, what are you guys bickering about? It's like nothing. It's like, come on. It's like everybody. You have to be able. It's like, come on. What do I have to do? And then like before that, she was like, oh, there's this horrible being. You know, back in the scene area, like, oh, there's this horrible being that can come and take over existence, and you get visions of her like, she attacks people and destroys people, and then there's this great moment where it goes, and the glass kind of breaks and it goes up to her, and it's like it visually just goes up to her, and the glass breaks, and it's like another side of her, and it's like, oh shit, almost as if like the multiverse is breaking, and it's like we have to do it. You have to go through this multiverse. You have to be able to, like, you know, do these certain things, and you know, it's like I'm from a different universe, from a different consciousness, and like a lot of it is exposition, but the exposition fucking works. It doesn't feel like you're being talked down to, which I loved about this film. You don't feel like you're being talked down to, and the exposition works, and it's fucking orgasmic. Love it. Urgh! Anyway, hi one viewer, what's up? Anyway, so you know, you get this great moment. One viewer left. Just as I said hi, just like bye bye, whatever. Um, you get this great moment where it kind of goes like, oh shit, to another version of The Office, and everyone's like, oh god, no, running away, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, she's like, what? And then Jamie Lee Curtis's character's just like, and she's just killing people, like, no, punching, and then like they're fighting, like, oh shit, punching, and she goes away, and then that's like, oh fuck. So her character can go kind of go insane in other universes. She's just nuts. Um, you know, and it's just like, oh shit. And you're kind of just like, oh fuck, you know. And there are moments where it does cut back to the evil version of Jamie Lee Curtis, which I loved. Like the part where everyone's on the ground, and there's a part where like everyone's in the office like there, and seeing her play a sinister role was actually interesting, because it's like in other movies we've more or less always seen her as like the good guy. Like she's you know, gets chased by Michael Myers in the Halloween movies, and then in True Lies, which I still have to finish my review of that, she gets kidnapped by terrorists, and then you know, she's been in other horror films like The Fog, Terror Train, Blue Steel. You know, obviously she was kind of a victim in Knives Out as well, and she's in Scream Queens. But in this film, like, you know, you get the sense that like she has like a sinister presence, and she's not like the main villain. The main villain is an evil version of the daughter, and I'm not gonna try to pronounce the fucking name, because the name, they say it a bunch of times. She's like, what? It's like, I don't know how to pronounce that, and there's an ongoing joke throughout the film in different moments where they're like, what? I can't pronounce that. It's like, yeah, you had to know to pronounce that and all that. But this guy, though, like I'd say, the fact that he is still great at acting years later is great, and he had great chemistry with the wife when he was playing both versions. Um, you know, brilliant, just brilliant, fucking uh vibe to the movie, and brilliant energy. So yeah. Anyway, fuck was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Hang up the chick habit, hang it up there to you. Um, but yeah, so you get that, like, you get these fucking great moments where, like, so you get that, like, you get that moment where she's just Jamie Lee Curtis there, like, no, just there, kind of walking, and she's like, listen, we're gonna have to do this here now, and all that. And then you just see Michelle Yeoh, a version of her, just covered in blood, all fucked up, and you're like, oh, oh shit, oh fuck, you know. You get that kind of moment, and you're just kind of like, oh fuck, and she's like, grab her, and then the evil version is like, you come here, and the evil version of the daughter comes in, it's like, it's okay, honey, you'll be fine, you know. It's just like, oh shit, um, that's just a brilliant fucking moment. But getting on to one thing about the film that I can just talk about for hours. And knowing how long my movie reviews are, I probably will. No, that was a joke. But let's talk about the goddamn fight scenes. Um, let's talk about the fight scenes, okay? Fucking fight scenes in this film are unbelievable. Like, they are unbelievable. The fight scenes. Holy fucking shit. The hand-on-hand combat in this movie. It is so well done. There's great martial arts, right? The first, I'm gonna go through as many of them. I'm gonna go try go through all of them right now, because the fucking martial arts in this movie is fucking brilliant. It's excellently directed. You can tell there's a lot of real fighting, and you're like, holy fucking shit. So you're all there about to get in the elevator, like, what's happening and all that. And essentially, Jamie Lee Curtis comes over, and you think she's evil. It's like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then there's a great comedic moment where Michelle Yeoh just goes, punches her in the face. Oh shit, you punched me. Why would you assault me like that? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And all that. It's like, why would you do that? And all that shit. Thanks for the like, one viewer. So you're just like, oh shit. I was like, come on, security. He's like, oh no, no. I was like, come on, show up, come on, show up. And then the other version of someone's like, oh come on, but we gotta get out of here. It's like, oh, now you show up. It's like, what's going on? And then he's like, why would you do that? And then you get this moment where the security guards are like, oh, what's up, Matthew? You get this great moment where the security guards come out. It's like, come on, put it down. And then the aspect ratio changes in such a great way. It kind of goes down like that. Well, at least that's what it does in the Blu-ray. Anyway, and you get this great hand-on-hand combat scene where it just goes, and the guy shows up like, and he's like, come on. And he's like, okay, what are you doing? And then it just goes, fucking smashing people. It's like, oh shit. Grabs like a fucking fishbowl thing, fucking eats it, and there's a lot of this kind of, because that's how they get their powers. And he goes, fucking hits a guy, throws him over there. And like, I was just there jacking up, not really. So I was just there like, oh fuck. And she's like, what's going on? And they're fucking people up. I was like, I need you to imagine that you're a kung fu instructor. It's like, what? And then like, she's just fighting people left and right. And the guy's like, oh fuck, and gets hit. And it's like, come on, let's go. It's like, security, get them. And it's just, this moment, you gotta go here, you gotta get out of there, you gotta get out of this fucking whole the universe, multiverse in danger. And you're just like, it's like, how do I do that? It's like, you gotta visualize yourself being a kung fu master. And it's just, from then on out, the movie just gets insane. And you get a lot of these great shots. You get the whole exposition dump of like, he's like, oh yeah, so basically there's a whole, what happened is your daughter created this, we created this whole thing, this scientist, I'm a scientist in another universe. Like, no, it's like, no, you're brilliant. And then you cut to the other universe, and then they're like, there's this like map thing, and it's like, so basically your consciousness, the two consciousnesses are linked, and essentially, you stressed your daughter out so much that it created this other consciousness that caused her to go evil and rogue and just want to kill you. And she's like, what? So you got to stop her. And then they say the name's like, wow, I can't pronounce that. It's like, yeah, it's a weird name, so we have to stop it. And then on out, it's like, so what are we gonna do? It's like, we gotta blend in. So there's a lot of great moments, and they're like, people come like, oh shit, and they're going through the hallways and they're fucking people up, and it's like hand on hand combat, and she's getting thrown around and all. So you gotta visualize yourself in the other universe, and like when it shows the whole backstory, you see them with the helmet on. It's like, wait, where are you? And that's why they have the little earpiece in, like, put this in, here you go. And it's like, where are you? It's like, okay, go this way. It's like, we here, sir, where do we go? You got to go this way. And he has like a headset on. It's like, come on, they're fighting and fighting. And that aspect weirdly reminded me a bit of Ready Player One with the way they had the headsets on. But like, obviously, this is a fucking way better movie than that. Holy shit. And he's just kind of fucking people up. And it's just, as I said, the hand on hand combat is brilliant. And then he wakes up and was like, wait, what happened here? It's like, I don't know. It's like, come on, let's go. Just go out and run down. Like, I got to talk about the divorce. Like, why are we getting divorced? And then it's kind of in and out of consciousness. And I really like this whole idea. Like, the movie, the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, suits. Because that's what fucking happens. It literally, the more I think about it, there's actually things in the movie I'm kind of noticing now, just after watching it, because I watched it the first time there. It's like, there's moments like where it's like, everything is like, even in the backstory, you see the daughter and you see different versions of her going, ugh, and all that kind of shit, and her going through different places and millions of different places and different universes. And it's like her consciousness is happening all at once. She's there doing all these different things, all these different versions of her conversion into one version of her all at once. But there's a whole thing in the movie where, like, Michelle Yeoh, she has this thing where you, during the fight scenes, throughout the film, you see many different versions of her. There's a great fight scene where, like, oh shit, and she's grabbing these things and fucking people up, but like, she's swinging a stop sign around. There's a lot of millions of different scenes where you see her swinging a stop sign around. There's another one where she's a chef doing all these other different things, and the fucking Ratatouille joke in this movie was hilarious, by the way. I thought, I was not expecting a Ratatouille joke. What the fuck is it with these movies I'm getting, having funny references to my childhood, where it's Bullet Train mentioned Thomas the Tank Engine, or Everything Everywhere All at Once mentioned Ratatouille. But I thought the Ratatouille reference was hilarious. So, there's this joke later on where they bring the grandfather in. It's like, oh, come on, let's go, and all that. And the grandfather is kind of like, oh, yeah, he's a different version. Like, oh, you have to go this way. Come on, come on. It's like, oh, Dad. And he's like, oh, you got to go this way. It's like, wait, you're talking in English. Like, yes, come on. It's not the version of the dad you know. We got to go this way. He's like, come on. So he's in the wheelchair. It's like, we'll have to do this. You have to do that. You have to, he's just explaining the plan. You need to do the conscious. Yes, so why did you do that, sir? It's like, we need to do this now, and during fight scenes, he's fucking people up and shooting them, and it's just badass. It's like, so come on. So they go into this kind of place, and you get this great moment where she's back to reality and trying to explain that the other version comes out, and he's like, oh, Dad, how are you? How are you? It's like, what's going on and all that. And he's all like, oh, there's, and he's talking in whatever, Japanese or whatever, Mandarin, sorry, it's Mandarin. And the daughter's like, what do you want, Mom? It's like, there's this crazy things happen, crazy things in the universe. Like, you're going to take over the world, all this stuff. And it's like, okay. And just beforehand, there's this moment where she's like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're up to. It's like, okay, whatever, Mom. It's like, I got to protect you. I got to tie you up. It's like, what? Why would you tie me up? It's all that. And she grabs like, hey, Mom, what are you doing? And then ties her up. Like, what are you doing? And all that. And she's basically like, I have to stop you. I have to protect you. Another version of the universe, and you're going to take over the multiverse and kill everyone. And she's just like, whatever. And the guy's just there, like, the grandfather's like, yeah, she's going to do that. And the father's like, why are you doing that? It's like, do you want help? It's like, so don't want to, and then she kind of just is like about to do some crazy shit. So she's basically like, it's like the thing. It's like that movie, like Raccoon Tooie or whatever. It's like the one. It's like what the movie Raccoon Tooie. With the chef and the raccoon all that. And then eventually the raccoon controls the chef and he controls him with the hair and he cooks good food. And then she just fucking laughs her ass. I was like, you mean Ratatouille? Like, no, Raccoon Tooie. And he's like, oh, Ratatouille. I love that movie. I like that movie. It's just fucking funny. And just the way he says it as well. One of those moments reminded me of his character in The Temple of Doom and The Goonies. He still has that childlike innocence, and it is a shame that he didn't get much acting roles. And it's great that he's back, and he's going to be in Loki season 2. I know at the Golden Globes this week he got emotional, rightfully so, because he was fucking brilliant in this movie. He is the fact that he hasn't acted in 20 years, and he's probably honestly better than a lot of fucking other actors. That's an achievement in itself. He is just spectacular in the movie. But he's there like, yeah, so what are we gonna do? And then like you get this really dark moment where she's just there like, yeah, whatever. And then she kind of just goes up with a knife and goes and is about to almost cut the whole tape down or whatever. It's like, no, you can't do it. It's like, what if I want to do it? It's like, you can't. Look, your power's already wearing off. And I was like, don't fuck. It's like, I gotta go do this. And the guy's like, don't do it. And she's like, well, how did he get so good at English? It's like, don't fucking do it and all that. It's like, what? It's like, you're gonna destroy it. It's like, no, I won't do the powers and all that. And then that part where she's just walking up with the knife. It's like, Mom, what are you doing? Mom, what are you doing? The suspense in that scene, it's built up so well. And she just cuts her loose, like, oh shit, it's fine. And then she's like, I'm gonna do it. It's like, get over there. Like, I can't let you do that. And you just get this great fucking moment. And I thought this scene was absolutely fucking hilarious. It's the scene that I think I got the biggest laugh from